Somewhere beneath this endless desert, an army of 50,000 men may have been waiting for more than 2,500 years.
But the desert does not surrender its secrets easily. Even today, every fragment buried beneath these sands raises the same haunting question: what happened here?
A fragment of bone, a piece of corroded metal, but without proof, a relic can deepen a mystery just as easily as it can solve one. The Western Desert has erased roads, settlements, and the footprints of countless toward number of generations. To understand how the mystery began, after conquering Egypt, gave an order that would send thousands of men deep into one of the most unforgiving deserts on earth. At the king's command, a vast force was assembled. According to the ancient historian Herodotus, 50,000 soldiers were sent westward toward the remote Oracle of Amun at Siwa.
And so, the expedition began. They carried weapons, supplies, and the confidence of an empire. But ahead of them lay an enemy no army could conquer.
But the deeper they marched, and for the first time, the commander began to wonder if they were still heading towards Siwa at all.
The water was disappearing faster than expected. Across the army, leather skins grew lighter until, for some men, only a single drop remained.
Still, they marched on, deeper into the great sand sea. And somewhere beyond those endless dunes, the desert was waiting.
Then, something changed. The desert fell strangely silent. The wind returned as a low, mournful whisper, and on the distant horizon, the sky began to darken.
Then, the horizon disappeared. Before them rose a wall of sand so vast it seemed to swallow the sky itself. And with every passing second, it came closer.
Herodotus wrote that the soldiers had stopped for their midday meal when the wind began to rise, gave way to fear, and the desert itself seemed to turn against them.
Then the horizon disappeared. What had been a distant shadow became a towering wall of sand, racing toward them with the force of the desert itself.
In seconds, the army disappeared inside the storm. Men standing only a few steps apart could no longer see one another. Commands were swallowed by the wind, and 50...
The animals panicked first. Horses tore free, camels carrying water and supplies with them. And in that moment, control of his army, he lost their last chance of survival.
Soon, there were no formations, no roads, no horizon, and every trace of the expedition vanished into the storm.
According to the ancient account, the storm did not simply scatter the army, it erased it. Beneath the shifting dunes, thousands of men were said to vanish, leaving behind. They tried to climb, but the desert moved beneath their feet. Every step forward disappeared. An army that had conquered nations could do nothing but vanish.
And then there was nothing. No survivor, no message, no grave. Only a final weapon left against the wind, until the desert claimed that too. By the time the wind fell silent, the expedition had vanished. 50,000 men, according to Herodotus, swallowed from the story of the ancient world. And for more...
When morning came, the desert looked untouched. The dunes had shifted. Every footprint, every track, every sign of the army was gone. No survivors returned. No message reached the king. And across the vast desert, not a single trace remained to explain where an entire army had gone.
For more than 2,500 years, or did something else happen beyond these dunes? The army vanished. The mystery remained. Centuries passed. Kingdoms rose and disappeared. Yet the search never continued, looking for something, anything that might explain the fate of the lost expedition.
The desert has been searched with maps, excavations, and modern technology, yet no discovery has answered the question completely. Somewhere beyond the...
In the desert, even the smallest trace, 50,000 men truly crossed these sands. Time may have erased their final path long ago.
Perhaps that is why the truth has remained hidden for so long. The desert does not preserve every story. Perhaps the army was destroyed, sir. The truth is endless sands. What really happened to the lost army of Cambyses?
Subscribe to Historium Studio, turn on the bell, like, comment, and share. More history awaits.